I'm Lizzie. If your horse does any of these 5 things, you're the red flag. It seems a little harsh. It's mostly for clickbait. But these 5 things I'm about to name off are huge red flags in your horse. And if you ignore them, you become the red flag. If your horse does not want to be caught and it takes you an hour to catch your horse before you can ride, you're the red flag. Horses can't speak our language, but they can be very clear about what they are trying to say sometimes. And I think a lot of people know it, and we just choose to ignore it because it makes our lives more difficult when they tell us that they don't like something. So if your horse doesn't want to be caught and doesn't want to have anything to do with you, that says a lot about how they felt about their last session. It's good information. Maybe you should ponder what happened in your last session that they didn't enjoy. Or possibly it's things that we're not doing, or we're not listening to them when they're telling us certain things. If you're worried about your horse running you over while you're leading them, you're the red flag. You want to be able to lead your horse on either side of you and be able to lead them with a loose lead line. That's a good indication that your horse feels safe with you. And once they're safe with you, you're all safe. A horse that is dangerous to lead is not a safe horse to ride. That is a very good indication that they probably should not be ridden until that issue is solved. If you go to put the saddle on your horse and their head comes up, they sidestep away from you, they seem really uncomfortable, their back hollows out, that's a really big red flag. And if you ignore it, you become the red flag. If you go to cinch up your horse and they pin their ears, swish their tail, or try to bite you in the process, that's a major red flag. Don't ignore it. If you do, you become the red flag. Those are signs of major saddle fitting issues and pain-related responses. If you ignore them, you're telling your horse that you don't care that they are in pain. That's not good. If your horse is telling you that they're not okay with that saddling process, you should probably investigate it really thoroughly. And if you don't, and you continue to use that same saddle and same cinch and same equipment, then you should expect your horse to not act super great under that saddle either. It's obviously causing them quite a bit of discomfort, and if you keep ignoring that and keep using it, it's going to make it really hard for them to do their job, and eventually they're going to have to act in ways that we see as bad behavior, being naughty, when they're really just communicating louder about the fact that they're in pain and that saddle hurts them, or something in their equipment hurts them. So if you're having those issues, I highly suggest you look into that and find the root problem so that you're not ignoring those issues, you're not ignoring your horse's body language, and you're not the red flag. If you can't mount your horse without somebody holding them on the ground so that they don't run off with you while you're in the process of getting on, that's a major red flag. If you have to mount like this, facing your horse's rear end so they can't kick you while you're getting on, that's a problem. Don't ignore it. Good girl. If you can't walk, trot, and canter your horse on a loose rein, that's an issue. Probably should investigate it, and don't ignore it, and don't try to cover up your issues with equipment. A lot of people like to claim that the horse loves their job and is super excited to do their job, and that's why they're hot, spicy, fast, aggressive, whatever. But don't you think if that was the case, that your horse would be eager to do it and wouldn't need a bunch of equipment to force them to do it? Tie downs, spurs, harsh bits. And I'm okay with some of that equipment if it's used correctly. But the people that claim that their horses are enjoying their job and love to do their job are not using it correctly. They're using it as forceful devices to get their horse to do what they think the horse loves doing. And if your horse doesn't love what you're doing, why are we still making them do it? If your horse might kill you if you loosen up on the reins, are they really enjoying that? Do they really like you? If the only thing keeping you safe is your tight grip on your horse, keeping them from bolting or bucking, rearing, then I don't really think your horse loves their job. I think equipment is a tough topic because you can't say that all spurs, all bits, all certain type of tack is abusive, because it's not. And there are good horse people that use those equipment so that they can be extremely subtle with their cues. And so an ounce of pressure is really clear to the horse instead of having to use a whole ton of pressure to get them to understand the cue. But there are people that use those good horse people as an example of why they should use that equipment when their horse and their skill level is not ready to use that equipment. And suddenly you're using those pieces of equipment as cheat codes to be able to skip all the steps to get to where these good horse people are at so that they can look like they're at their level when they're really not, and they're just using the equipment to force the horse to do things that they're not ready to do, they don't know how to do, they're just being forced, and the horse doesn't love their job, they're in pain. And it's becoming more common and more popular and more well known that there are a lot of riders in the Olympics that are using these G codes, and they shouldn't be at the level that they try to appear at. So what I'm getting at is your horse doesn't lie. So take off your forceful tack and see what happens. If your horse takes off running and tries to kill you, that's the truth. So we went through all 5 of these red flags, and if this is common for you, if you've ignored the fact that your horse doesn't want to be caught, isn't okay with being led by you, doesn't like their saddle, has made it very clear, doesn't want to and can't stand still when you go to mount, and has made it very clear that they're not okay with you getting on, and then you get on and you have issues with your horse, trying to buck you, trying to bolt with you, and then you wonder, why am I having all these issues under saddle? Because the training does not start once you're sitting on the horse. It starts the moment your horse sees you in the pasture. Your training begins then. So as soon as you go to catch your horse and they see you and they start walking away from you, training has begun. Once you have your horse and you're leading them and they're still not okay with you, red flags going off and you're ignoring them, they're not okay with the saddle, these are all huge indications of why your ride might not go well and probably won't go well. And it doesn't matter the discipline either. I don't care if you have a fancy warm blood or extremely hot barrel racer or an Arabian that is naturally high-headed or whatever. Horses are not as different from breed to breed as people like to assume and like to think. They all grow at the same rate. They all mature at the same rate. They all have the same emotions and feelings, and they all communicate the same way. We can't just keep dividing them up and blaming it on because, oh, they're just a devil pony, or they're just a hot barrel racer, or they're just a nervous warm blood. They're all just horses and they all communicate the same way. It doesn't matter their bloodlines, doesn't matter their papers, doesn't matter how expensive they are, it doesn't matter what they're bred to do, whether they're supposed to be reiners or barrel racers or jumpers or dressage horses. They're all the same. And maybe their muscles are built different, and maybe they're more athletic in certain areas, but their mental is still the same. They're still the same. And if you're writing any of these issues off because of your horse's breed, your horse's size, your horse's color, I don't care. You're the red flag. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Sunday. You can go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And don't be the red flag. Nobody likes the red flag. I'll see you guys next week Sunday. Bye. Good girl. Okay, there you go.